It's a couple of two-win teams, neither one of them feeling great. The Raiders 0-4 on the road this season, coming off that stinker in New Orleans.
Yeah, West Coast team coming to the East Coast. We've seen how that's worked out. I mean, look, it's back-to-back weeks right now, right, for the Las Vegas Raiders. So I'll let you talk about that.
Well, one's coming from London, though.
That's right. But again, it's a little. I feel like I don't know. I feel like they'll be fine with that. They're used to doing that in Jacksonville. I feel better or more optimistic about where the Jaguars are at this point. So if you're going to give me a point, I think their defense, it will be tested versus Carr. I think they'll be better than they were last week versus the Saints. But I do think this is a spot where Trevor Lawrence starts to get right. I think he starts to get better here. They're not going to get their big trade acquisition from this week's trade deadline.
He won't be playing this year.
He won't be playing at any point for the Jaguars, but I do think we're going to start to see a better performance from Trevor Lawrence moving forward.
I do too, and there's a lot of people that are burying him and calling him a bust and everything else. He made a bad decision on the goal line twice. In 2 of the last 3 games, he's made a terrible decision on the boot. Like, hey, Doug, you might want to run the ball from the 1-yard line once in a while too. That might help. But I just think that this is a team that has to learn how to win. And I'm going to date myself. In 1996, okay, I covered that team in 1996, the Jaguars. They were a second-year team. They lost every way. They'd outgain a team by 300 yards, 280 yards, and still lose the game by turning the ball over 5 times. First part of the season. Then they learned how to win. They became a playoff team that year, and that was the foundation for the rest of the next 4 years.
Natron means?
Yes, Natron means, yeah. And you know what? This team doesn't know how to win either. And at some point, they're going to need to learn how to win, and I think it starts this week. They win this week. They've had leads in every one of their games late. They just can't hold them, and this week they will win.
Both teams are going to try to run the football. I mean, after what you saw from Derek Carr, that offensive line versus the Saints, I think you're going to see a heavy dose of Josh Jacobs try to get him going, and same thing for Etienne. And I think that rushing battle will dictate this game.
Etienne's proven that he can handle the carries between the tackles. There were questions about that, but he can.
Carr has failed to cover 7 straight times as a road favorite. Very slight favorites. The slightest of favorites this week, -1 in Jacksonville. Recapping the picks from Pete and Brady, early CBS games. Only one game you agree on, and it's that Jacksonville.
That's the way I like it.
How about that? Lots of disagreement so far.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.